Hello, welcome back, and this will be my top 10 or top 15 least favorite horror/thriller movies of 2023. And this one will probably be very quick because a lot of these movies I just don't remember because I watched them and I was like, that was shit, and then I forgot. You know what I mean? So let's just get into it. Let's get this over with. Number 15 is going to be Ennis Man, which is about this woman who lives on an island or something, and then she is a supervisor or something, and then does tasks for it or whatever. And this movie wasn't horrible. It was experimental, like Skinamarink, but it just wasn't scary at all or horrifying at all. Maybe unnerving, but other than that, it was just I was hoping for more, and it wasn't scary. I'm sorry, I don't even know how it could be interpreted as scary. It was pretty, more than anything. The shots, the way, it was filmed and shit is pretty. It is nowhere near scary. There's no way that someone watches the video and was like, this is a scary movie. No, it's like an experimental drama. It is not scary. I'm sorry, no. And that's the biggest reason it's even made to number 15 is because it really wasn't horrible or anything. It just wasn't a fucking horror movie. It wasn't a thriller. It wasn't suspenseful. Maybe unnerving, but not even that. It was just there. It was, that's when people in the fucking magazines and shit post the top 10 horror movies and this is on it. It's you clearly just didn't watch the movie. It's not scary, whatever. Number 14 is The Breach, which is a Nick Cutter, audio exclusive, audible exclusive, or whatever. For some reason, my dumbass head thought it was the, where I had The Troop, his book, The Troop. Nick Cutter's an author, and I thought it was his book, The Troop, but made into a movie. It's not. It's one of his other stories that I haven't read, and this movie was not good. It was poorly acted. The effects were okay, and the story was just not there. It was very boring, very uneven, and pretty predictable, and I wish I could tell you what's bad. I don't. Let me think. So it starts, and then this body gets discovered that's kind of decomposed and weird looking, and then they go to somewhere to try to find something, and then there's this stupid ass love triangle that doesn't need to be there, and yeah, I don't really remember. I would not recommend. It was a waste of time, and it was bad. Number 13 is Killer Book Club, which is on Netflix, and I feel bad because there's this person I follow on Twitter named Kyler who fucking loves this movie, and I just could not. It's basically it's about this group of friends that have a book club in high school. Yeah. And then the tragic incident happens with all of them, and then one by one the book club members start getting picked off, and the acting was fine. It was whatever. It's Spanish or something, so I had to use subtitles, which was fine. Train to Busan is one of my favorite movies. It works. It's just the story was not there. It was extremely predictable. Nothing interesting really happens. It had nothing new to offer. I really liked the look of the killer, and there was a lot of characters, and none of them had much personality at all. The main girl was not it, and yeah, that's when if your lead is not solid, especially in one of these slashers, if she's not a good final girl, I'm not gonna like your movie. And this girl was not a good final girl. One of her friends, there's one scene in this movie worth watching, and if you've watched it, you know what I'm talking about. It's a chase scene, and it's one of the main girl's friends, and other than that, it was not good. It was predictable. It was boring. I was just waiting for it to be over. Number 12 is The Puppet Man, which is about this girl who she was abused as a child in the past, then she's weird or whatever. Then the Puppet Man was her imaginary friend or something, I want to say, or her dad. I don't remember. There's a lot of shit going on. The performances were okay to bad, not great. The story just wasn't it. It wasn't giving. It was boring. I was waiting for it to be over. It was clear where it was heading, and that's the worst thing, when you know where it's heading and it just takes so long to fucking get there. The characters were not good. The story obviously not memorable because I can't remember. And yeah, it was bad. Number 11 is Dark Windows, which is about this like group of friends that go away to someone's like house or whatever, and in the past one of their friends tragically died or whatever, and they're feeling guilt over it. They kind of do like a memorial thing to her, and then there's an intruder in the house that shakes up shit or whatever. And this one was just also took this one, the performances were fine. It took a while to get going, and just like it took a really long time for shit to start happening, and by the time shit started happening, it was already over. You know, it's like it just wasn't a good enough story or good enough performances to elevate the material, and it wasn't good. Wouldn't recommend. Number 10 is I'll Be Watching, which this stars the girl from the 100, and this one's about she's like home alone or something, and the husband's gone, and then like people start breaking in or something and like texting her and being weird, and it just like did not eat. It was boring. The performances were fine. It just like the story was not there. It was not giving. It was boring. I was waiting for it to be over. Number 9 is the Elevator Game, or Elevator Game, whatever, which is about a group of YouTubers who go to play an elevator game in a hotel where someone died or whatever. And this one was, the performances were bad. The story was, I mean, it could have been done well, but it wasn't. The game itself, the elevator game, I don't think was a strong enough premise to hold a movie, and if it is, this wasn't the way to do it. And yeah, it was just not good. Not good, not scary. Was waiting for it to be over. Number 8 is Snowfalls, which this one was released back in January, and it's about a group of friends that go to like a cabin or whatever for, I think, quarantine. I can't remember if that's a fact or not, or if just a visitor, and they think the snow's possessed. And this one's like a low budget movie, and I feel bad, but like the script was not there, the performances were not there, the story was not there. It was extremely boring. They had rarely any like horror scenes in it, and was waiting for it to be over. Number 7 is Alone at Night, which is about a girl who is like a OnlyFans girly, and then she goes to a cabin to quarantine during COVID, and weird shit starts happening. But also at the same time, she's watching like Paris Hilton's reality show for some reason, which we get segments of, and then so yeah, she's at this cabin and shit starts going weird or whatever, and it was just not good. It was very Lifetime, which Lifetime movies serve a purpose, but not for me. Okay, number 6 is the 3rd Saturday of October, and yeah, this one is like a standard like slasher taking place in like the 70s, 80s, whatever, I don't give a fuck. And then like killer happens, breaks out of prison or something, I think, I can't remember. Then starts like killing people, whatever. The final girl sucked, and that's all I can remember. Nothing memorable. This one was also a low budget one, so I feel bad, but I mean, they could have like done something. Like if the final girl actually like fought back and did shit, I would have been more on board, but she just like kind of stood there and watched, and it just wasn't good. Number 5 is Quicksand, which is about this couple who gets stuck in quicksand, and this couple is horrible to each other. They are awful people. They were horrible to watch. I absolutely hated like having to listen to them like bicker back and forth in this fucking quicksand, and it's just like that there wasn't enough to do in the quicksand to hold the story. Like I really like the like one setting locations where they can actually pull it off, and this one did not do it. They were just sitting in quicksand waiting to be rescued a lot. Not enough was happening, wasn't thrilling, wasn't scary. The people I wanted to die, and yeah. Number 4 is the Brooklyn 45, which is about a group of like veterans from a war come together to like have an intervention with their friend whose wife's just died. And then the wife who died, like she was a bit cray-cray and thought the neighbor was a like German spy, I think a Nazi spy. And it's basically about them. Then like they get taunted or whatever. And yeah, so this one keeps on getting praised by bitches, and I cannot stand it. The story was not good. The acting was not good. The ending is so unsatisfying, which I get it. Sometimes you need an unsatisfying ending, but with this kind of material and the way they went with the story, I absolutely fucking hated the ending. I think with such a sensitive topic as this, I think the ending was fucking atrocious. And the performances and script was not strong enough to save it or to make it work. And yeah, it was trash. I hated it. I posted on the something horror or whatever that it was garbage, and someone was like, Jack, give it another watch. No, I will not be. I will not be giving it another watch. It was trash. I hated it. Period. End of story. End of discussion. It was awful. Thank you. Okay. Number 3 is The Layer, which this is one of the biggest disappointments of the year for me, because this was the dude that directed this, The Descent, directed this, like Neil Marshall, I think, and it was bad. It was bad. The performances were not good. The script was horrible. Some of the shit these bitches said was so bad. The main girl was fucking atrocious. And that's the girl he's like sleeping with, left his wife or something for, and she's bad. She's not a good actress. Sorry, Neil. Like, what the fuck are you doing, my guy? Love The Descent. Can't support you. It was bad. And it's basically, if you know, like the Dark Pictures, the anthology or whatever, like Until Dawn bitches, they did the like little short stories. The Ashes one with Ashley Tisdale, it's basically that. And I highly recommend that game, or watching someone play that game, over watching this god-awful movie. I mean, the effects were cool and stuff, but it wasn't good. It's, okay. So it's about this girl who's, like, an officer or something, and she, like, I think she's, like, British or some shit, and she ends up with the Americans, and then they find aliens or something. And so they go down to this, like, secret under layer and to try to kill her or whatever. It was bad. The story was not giving. The script was really bad. It was really bad. Okay. Number 2 is The Tutor, starring Noah Schnapp. Hate him. And when I tell you, this is also on the level of like a Lifetime movie, but this acting in this movie was fucking horrible. Not by anyone else except for Schnapp. I don't know what happened. He was great in like Stranger Things season 2. Ever since season 2, he has been fucking atrocious. Like, and this is all-time bad performance. If you watch this movie, you will see why. It is so horrible. It's really, really, really bad. Like, I don't, like after Stranger Things, I don't know how he could salvage his career, because he's not good. Like, he's really bad. Like, oh my god. Like, this was awful. Like, one of the worst performances of the year, and really, it really could be in number 1. But Victoria Justice is in this movie, and I love her. Basically, it's about a kid who gets a tutor. Okay. Number 1 is Fear, which had, like, a limited release. Like, January, February, whatever. And this movie's bad. The performances, bad. The script, bad. The story, bad. It's so bad. Thank God I didn't see this in theaters. Basically, it's about a group of friends that go, like, it's during COVID again. A lot of these are set, like, during COVID. I didn't realize. And this group of friends go somewhere, like a secluded cabin, and then their deepest fears come to get them, whatever. It's bad. The CGI, there's a lot of CGI in this. It's bad. Their fears are not well realized to, like, actually kill them. Like, the script is, like, not good enough. Or, it's really not good. Like, you would think they would think through the fears and how it would kill them, but they did not at all. They were just, like, fucking winging it or something. It was really bad. I would not recommend at all. It was atrocious. Quite frankly. It was bad. And yeah, so that's my top 15 worst of 2023. I watched, like, 94 2023 releases, so, you know, horror and thriller, so I'm proud of myself for doing that. And yeah, and that's it for me.